All right, after Tuesday's sports wagering action, we improved to 5-0 in our last 5 board member tier package bets on Pt.1. And the link for today's board member tier package bet is in the description section below. $1,000 bettors are up over $4,500 during that span. Now, the board member tier is an all-inclusive package that I offer on my website. And not only do you get access to my board member tier package bet itself, you also get access to every single bet that I give out on that webpage all the way through the end of February. Now, if you're not signed up for that package, or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain a little bit more about it in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. I also sell my personal bets on BrockPage.com. And I have packages on that website beginning at just $1.99. Now, the purpose of these YouTube videos is to provide you with free informational sports betting content. And it's also designed to generate interest in signing up for a membership on my website. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my webpage. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and begin. Great to have the NBA back. It feels like it's been way too long. Really missed betting on these NBA games. So let's go ahead and dive into it. The Cavs take on the Pistons, and that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off on Thursday, February 24th, 2022. Cleveland's minus 8.5 with the total at 210. Now, the Cavs also covered in 4 out of their last 6 heading into the All-Star break. Those were covers against the likes of Indiana, San Antonio, and Charlotte during that stretch. And speaking of covering, Cleveland's gone 19-12 against the spread in all of their road games this season. Darius Garland averages over 20 points a game, along with 3 rebounds and 8 assists. Meanwhile, Jared Allen's grabbing 11 rebounds a game himself, along with 16 points. And speaking of rebounds, the Cavs are currently in the top 10 in the association in defensive boards. They're also allowing only 102 points a game defensively as well. They're taking on a Detroit squad who won only 8 out of 28 home games this year. Certainly little to cheer about in Detroit. And speaking of wins and losses, the Pistons garnered just 1 victory since January 30th. Now, no real surprise here. Detroit's currently dead last in shooting from the field at home. They're also scoring just 102 points per contest at any location. Now, injury-wise, Jackson is questionable for Detroit. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, Markkanen is still out indefinitely for them. When it comes to the total in this one, Cleveland did actually see overs recently against the likes of Atlanta, Indiana, and Houston. They're also 9-1 to the over in their last 10 meetings with Detroit, and they averaged over 112 points per contest during that span. Meanwhile, the Pistons, on the other side of things, they saw 3 out of their last 4 get over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Cleveland minus 8.5 and the over 210. Next matchup, it is going to be Celtics versus the Nets, 7:30 p.m. East. Boston's minus 5 on the road, totals 213. Now, Boston actually went into the All-Star break winners of a whole bunch of games. Boston won 11 out of their last 13 ball games. And they're actually playing exceptional defense on the road. As a matter of fact, the Celtics currently lead the entire NBA in fewest road points allowed. They're also first in the association in defensive field goal percentage. So this is a team who's really starting to hit their stride. And fundamentally, they are deeply rooted in strong defense. Now, scoring-wise, on the other end of the court, Jason Tatum, he's averaging over 25.5 points per contest, along with 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown, he's scoring over 23.5 points a game himself, along with 6 rebounds and 3 assists as well. Now they're taking on a Brooklyn team who lost 12 out of their last 14, and they've been absolutely terrible covering the point spread at home. The Nets are currently 6-22 against the spread in the Barclays Center, and that's good for just 21% in that particular category. Now when it comes to shooting the three ball, there's really not many worse than the Nets, believe it or not. They're making only 31% of their three-pointers at home, and they actually rank in the bottom three in the NBA in that particular category. Now, injury-wise, Irving, Harris, Simmons, and Durant, they're still out. Of course, Irving out for all the home games, just as long as that vaccination thing is still in place in New York City. Johnson's also questionable for Brooklyn. Meanwhile, for Boston, on the other side of things, Smart and Williams are questionable for them. When it comes to the total in this one, Boston's last two straight got over the posted number. They actually saw overs recently with the likes of Detroit and Philadelphia. Meanwhile, Brooklyn went 6-1 to the over in their last 7. I'm going to lean toward Boston -5 in the over 213. Next matchup, it is going to be Grizzlies versus the Timberwolves. 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Memphis is -2 with the total at 239. But despite being favored by a bucket on the road here, the Grizzlies really haven't done a great job shooting the basketball when traveling. Memphis is currently in the bottom 5 in shooting the three ball away from home. They're also in the bottom 3 in shooting from the stripe on the road as well. They're taking on a Minnesota team who won 7 out of their last 10 themselves. And they also rank in the top 5 in the NBA in scoring on average per game. Karl Anthony Towns averages over 24 points per contest, along with 9 rebounds and 4 assists. Now, Towns is also making 41% of his three-pointers. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards, he's scoring nearly 22 points a game himself, along with 4 boards and 3 assists as well. Now, when it comes to defensive play in this one, Minnesota allows only 105 points a game in the target center. They're actually in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage at home. Now, injury-wise, Wright is questionable with an elbow. Meanwhile, for Memphis, Tillman and Ponce are questionable for them. Brooks also is still out indefinitely. When it comes to the total in this one, Memphis saw their last 8 straight get over the posted number. They're also 63% to the over on the road. Meanwhile, Minnesota went 80% to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Minnesota +2 in the over 239. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup of the show. It is going to be Hawks versus the Bulls. That's going to be an 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Chicago's -3 with the total at 234.5. Now, the Bulls won their last 5 straight heading into the break. They've also been pretty good covering the point spread. They're actually 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. And they're also covering in 68% of their home games. Now, DeMar DeRozan's averaging over 28 points a game, along with 5 boards and 5 assists. Meanwhile, Zach LaVine, he's drilling 40% of his three-pointers. He's also scoring 24 points a game. Now, Chicago currently leads the entire NBA in offensive field goal percentage. These guys are making nearly 50% of their field goals at the United Center. They're taking on an Atlanta team who is just 11-17 on the road. And they cover the point spread in only 35% of their away games. Now, the Hawks have also had some difficulties on the defensive end of the court as well. They're allowing 112 points a game, and they also rank in the bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, when it comes to the injury report in this one, John Collins is still out indefinitely with a foot. Meanwhile, for the Bulls on the other side of things, DeSumo is questionable for them. Caruso and Ball, they're still out indefinitely as well. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, Chicago went 70% to the over in their last 10 ball games. They're also 19-12 to the over as the official home team. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Atlanta went 70% to the over in their last 10 themselves. The Hawks also saw 6 out of their last 10 meetings with Chicago get over the line. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. But with all that said and done, I'm going to lean towards Chicago -3 and the over 234.5. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Pt.1. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my website, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. Now, guys, be on the lookout for part 2 coming out in the next couple of hours or so. Maybe we'll drop it Thursday morning, but I'm actually looking to get that, produced and out there for your consumption here as soon as possible. So I think we're going to have that one out in a couple of hours. But anyway, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Wednesday or Thursday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.